How can we shore up our weak spots? All right, that is the question for today. That is the question for number 100 on the list of the 144 fractal faculties of the Tree of Life. If you'd like to get a little refresher course on your Tree of Life, just watch my video called Tree of Life, A Short Introduction. Just remind you about some of the basics of the Tree of Life so that you'll be able to follow along with these videos. You can also get my free guide to the 144 fractal faculties, which is just an annotated list of all of them, all in one place, so that you can, use it as a reference. You can compare and contrast. You can do various things to educate yourself more on Tree of Life so that you'll also be able to get more more mileage out of my videos here. Okay, now today we're looking at number 100. And when we look at the Tree of Life, first we recall the Tree of Life is, for these purposes, is a map of our consciousness. Each one of these circles or spheres on the tree represents an aspect of our consciousness or a faculty of our consciousness. And there are 12 of these, which include the abyss and the zero above the tree. So 12 different faculties of consciousness, 12 different aspects, 12 different potentialities of consciousness. And today for number 100, we are centered here in the third sphere. And the third sphere is one of our divine faculties of consciousness, omnipotence. Then 2 is also omniscience, and 1 is omnipresence. So those are our divine faculties. So here we're talking about our divine faculty of omnipotence, all-powerful. And the all-powerfulness comes from our ability to be able to really activate all of these different powers of consciousness, these different faculties of consciousness. And we do this through sound synchronization practices. One of the best known is chanting mantras. Each one of the mantras, or each really letter of the alphabet, or many letters of the alphabet, correspond to the different spheres on the Tree of Life. So here, at the A sphere, the mantra is I-E, I-A-I, I-E. And then you put an NG at the end of the word to kind of plant it in the ground, the ether, so to speak. And that creates a vibration that allows you to really tap into this. But you have to repeat the mantra like over and over again. And that is called japa, repetition of the mantra. And so ultimately, omnipotence is our ability to do anything, really anything humanly possible. And what we're really fulfilling if we're systematically using japa is we're fulfilling our higher calling that we initiated here, we declared it here at the 7th sphere, and as we moved up the tree, we are basically called upon to activate the various spheres on the tree at different times under different circumstances. And that's how mantra leads us toward omnipotence. Okay, so that is the third sphere. Now, and the third sphere is one of our 12 aspects of consciousness. Now, how do we get from 12 aspects or 12 faculties to 144 fractal faculties? What we do is we take the Tree of Life to the second power. So we do this by fractalizing the tree. So we take the whole tree and we shrink it down to the size of just one sphere, and we apply it to each sphere. So, for example, this is the night sphere. We can break down the night sphere into its 12 faculties, uh, 12 fractal faculties. So there's a mini or a fractal 10th sphere inside the night sphere, and a fractal night sphere inside the night sphere, and a fractal A sphere inside the night sphere, and so on with each one of the spheres. Each one can be broken down into 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So when we were talking about the third sphere, here we're basically talking about 12 aspects within the third sphere, and number 100 corresponds to a mini 7th sphere within the third sphere. So remember, the 7th sphere, not only are we talking about declaring our higher calling here at the 7th sphere, but we're also talking about taking things and putting them together, congregating them according to their concrete or superficial characteristics. We're also talking about our imagination, imagining how things are as a way of preparing, and also as a way of bringing these things about. We're also talking about our intuition, going inside and figuring out the course of action, but also, being able to communicate inside, but also being able to verify those communications through our external experiences. We also are talking about inspiration, being able to take other people's actions and use it as fuel to motivate us. People who've already done things that we aspire to, and we can use them as examples. It also corresponds to our creativity, our spark of creativity, being able to kind of set the world right. And to contribute things that don't exist yet, and also again, this higher calling. So those things all go into this greater aspect of the third sphere of the omnipotence, and we put them all together. We get number 100, which called japa, conjures images, chant images. Stage number 100 is about activating our faculties of consciousness. Each of us has a dominant faculty and 6 weak faculties corresponding to the days of the week. The day that we are born on is our dominant faculty. By activating, we tap the potential of flipping weaknesses into strengths, eventually synchronized in service to our higher calling. Planets govern days of the week, but what day were we born? According to the heavens, at the moment of our birth, we are all endowed with certain strengths and weaknesses. From Sunday, it goes 6, 9, 5, 8, 4, 7, 3 by spheres, or Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. Syncing all of them, not just our natal affinity, through mantra. Transcend the solar system. We can do it any day of the week. The initiate becomes an adept as we learn to accept and transcend our planetary weaknesses and to annex the strengths of other planets, which are all within, unmanifest. This unmanifest power can be brought out through devotion to mantra. There are mantras for each planet, each personality. The mantra must be synchronized with the breathing and with the repeating rhythm of the mantra itself. Each mantra conjures an image that also, motivates us toward fulfilling our potential on that aspect of consciousness. Moreover, adepthood can be approached by syncing all 7 of the personal mantras with the context of our lives to be able to activate each faculty at will when appropriate. The other spheres, the 10th, the abyss, the 2nd, and the 1st, can also be used to aid this process. From this intuited or tuned into or tutored into understanding or understanding or overstanding of the dimensions of time and space, each initiate is able to successfully synchronize all of our personalities at will. Like we are changing our tone of voice, like putting on a new suit of clothes, using each only as it is called for by the context. Each of these mantra corresponds to a set of images that also relates to each sphere, each faculty of consciousness. Facing and transcending weaknesses is difficult discipline. An ambivalent attitude toward pleasure and pain is needed, and it can be cultivated through austerities. But austerities must be performed in a loving, hawkish way. We must love to be able to exercise that level of self-control, the ability to enjoy even difficult, long-term endeavors, not giving in to either pleasure or pain, to strengths or weaknesses, to things that control our emotions. Bringing our A game to every activity, not just our natal personality. And our mission is thereby expanded until we shore up our weaknesses and turn our weaknesses into strengths. Okay, that is number 100. Japa conjures images, and that's kind of been, that is the 7th fractal of the 3rd sphere. And that has kind of been juggled around and twisted and tweaked. And so I need to work on it a little bit more. It was originally number 103, and I moved it to number 100. And I put in some other stuff. And so it probably needs to be shored up a little bit here. I'll be putting in some parts that have to do with the images and how to work with those images. But that's what we have right now. And, you can, if you have the guide to the 144 fractal faculties, you can kind of adjust it to reflect that, because I believe on the guide, this is listed as number 103, and the text is a little bit different than what it is right now. So I'll be coming up with a new guide here pretty soon. But for now, accept the fact that there are a few discrepancies between the guide and what I'm saying on these videos. Not too many, probably half a dozen out of the 144. But if you do want that guide for free, just click the link in the description and I'll send it out to you. You can also, if you do have money, you can donate to me directly through Cash App and also Venmo. Stay tuned for future videos on this channel. Number 101 will be coming up here tomorrow or by tomorrow. And other videos, hopefully too, as well, are being prepared. So, by the end of the year, we'll be rocking and rolling here on this channel. So please stay tuned and have a great day. We'll see you soon.